First of all, my panel was the best. I can say that with some assuredness, even though I haven't seen any of the other panels, because Reese and Bruna were awesome. They were informative, they were engaging. All I had to do was stand out of the way and just let them do what they do. It was awesome to see two female producers who happen to also be great moms, one who happens to be an extraordinary actress at the top of their game. They just started their production company, but they came in and hit the ground running. They hit their first 2 films out of the box. So that was such an interesting story for the audience to listen, to hear. There were really informative things that they said about mistakes that they made, things that they wish they had done differently. If I was an independent producer sitting in the audience of that panel, I was absolutely overjoyed and I was absolutely enthralled and engaged because there was such great information. One thing I learned from moderating that panel and listening to Reese and Bruna talk was the fact that you have to make mistakes. You gotta make mistakes, they're gonna happen. What matters is not if you make them, it matters what you learn from them, it matters how you grow from them, it matters what you do after you make the mistakes. And that's just a natural part of it. And so it was good because we were in a room with a lot of independent producers and filmmakers and people who want to get to the level that they are on. And it's good to hear somebody at that level say, it's okay, you're gonna make mistakes, just keep trying. That's a great question. You know, when I think about what projects I'm gonna do, what I wanna do next, I think about how viable a project is. I think about, can I be passionate about it? As a producer, you know, you're gonna spend 2 to 3 years of your life pushing that boulder up the hill, because that's really the great analogy for what it is. You gotta push and push and push. And so why would you do that with something that you don't believe in? And why would you do that with something that ultimately you don't believe in the potential for success? So for me, I look at the potential for success, whatever that may be commercial, maybe critical, and I look at if I'm passionate about that project. For me, if I can see it, if I can see the end game, I can see the result, I can see accomplishing what it is that, you know, I set out for with that project, then it's the project for me and I go for it. But I have to be moved. I have to be moved initially, because as a producer, you have to move a lot of other people to get excited about your project. You gotta move a financier, you gotta move an actor, probably a writer, you gotta move a great director, you gotta move these people to then become engaged with your project. So I gotta first love it. If I don't love it, how am I gonna get anybody else to love it? Any producer worth his salt has gotten involved with the project and said, how the hell do I get out of this? How did I get here? What's going on? Is there a way out? You know, and that's what it is. But you know, I'll tell you what's great is that sometimes when you get a project that you're passionate about and you can't see any way to get it done, to make it successful, to get it made, and then something breaks through, something happens, you know, you get that extra push, that extra talent piece, or you get that financing, you get that distribution, and then you get that project made when it looked like there was no way to get it done. That is the ultimate validation for a producer. You know what, for me personally, what I say to people is that you make your own rules. It's such a great time to make film, television, create content these days, because there are more distribution outlets than ever before. There are more ways to get your content financed than ever before. And so for me as a producer, I tell people, take advantage of the current climate. Don't let the traditional barriers stop you. Be creative about the way that you go out and hustle, because more than ever, that hustle is being rewarded. Nobody can define your success but you. I have made a pretty good career by exceeding expectations. And some people would be upset that limited expectations are put on them, but for me, I look at that as an opportunity. And so that's what I would say to a young producer out there. If they're not expecting much from you, that's the time when you gotta strike. That's it, you got them right where you want them.